Hi everyone, so today I thought I would share my quick tip for saving chipboard. I've been cutting a lot of these checkbook covers, and thank you for everyone who's shown interest in getting these. I'm very happy to be able to offer them for those of you who just don't feel like getting the Sizzix die, and in case you're curious, here's the die information. And it will allow you to use up to 0.8 millimeter, from 0.8 to 1.2 millimeter thickness. So the medium weight chipboard falls within that guideline. So as you can see, the way that the die is oriented on the cutting pad is some of the items are diagonal in order to optimize the greater than 6-inch width, and some of the items are longer than 6 inches, like this is 6 1/4. So if I want to get the most cuts out of a 12 by 12 sheet of chipboard, which I use the graphics chipboard, and it's the the medium weight chipboard. So what I do is I take measurements. I take measurements of the largest item on the board. Instinctively, you would think all you need to do is, because this is 6 inches, is to cut one 12 by 12 in half and then use it twice. However, in order for this to complete this project, you need 2 of these pieces and 1 of the rest. So if you're taking a 12 by 12 chipboard and cutting it in half, there's actually a lot of waste. Not only a lot of waste from the residual pieces that the negative space, but it is smarter use of the chipboard to trim it down. So this is what I do. So I measure the longest pieces, longest and largest pieces, and then these little ones, I know I'll have plenty of leftover bits and pieces to be able to cut those. So this is what I've done. I take the measurements, and the largest piece, which is by volume largest piece, is this one, and needs 2 of these for the completed project. It's 6 1/4 by 3, so I cut the chipboard to 6 1/2 by 3 1/2. This way I have plenty of periphery space if I place this right over it. So what I do is, and hopefully you'll see, it's clear enough, you see the cutting edge. So below this foam is a steel edge, which is what cuts when running it through the pressured machines, either hand crank or the electronic ones. So what I do is, since I've measured it to have just about 1/4 inch of a relief on either side of the cut, I place the piece that I'm going to be cutting, and I slide it just to cover it. So see, it's covered everywhere. And if you're concerned about this moving, you can use post-it notes just over the edges, maybe just on 1 or maybe 2. You can also use painter's tape. It won't leave a sticky residue on the cushion, and it'll allow you to have a little bit more security when you're running it through your machine. So then these pieces, I just piece together. It's like a little puzzle. I see what fits. Let's see what else I have. I think I have a couple of, I'll trim down some of the longer pieces to put over this one and this one, and then I just run it through. This way I'm saving all the negative space, because you can use them on other die cuts, and I've optimized the use of, let's see, these are the ones that are for the front and back of the covers for this particular die, and I could get 6 kits out of this, and this was just 3 sheets, and then I have all this extra chipboard which I can use for something else, and it's already cut down to a size that I can use easily on on another quick one. You could do exactly the same thing on the smaller dies. For example, here's an Allison Education, and it's the adorable chicken. Now, this was just not a smart use of space on their behalf, but You would think that chicken's pretty big, but look at how tiny that is. You see that? So I could totally use one of these little residue, leftovers to cut that chicken. And actually I could probably fit 2 chickens out of this little strip. So that's another way to utilize that. The way they always show is, they use a 6 by or 6 by 5.5 piece. Why would you want to waste all that paper or chipboard? So there you go. There's my quick little tip on saving some chipboard, or if you have designer paper, there's always ways to save. You don't have to just instantly cut it in half and run it through and then have all that negative space then you have to trim down. It's easier to do the trimming down up front. If you have any questions or if you have any suggestions for future tips and tricks, leave me a comment. Thanks for watching.